Hi, friends. I'm Ty,
Hi, friends. I'm Jeff,
and this is
the
the
Old
Old Friend
Friend
Podcast.
Podcast.
And
What's up,
we
y'all?
back.
We back.
Back for another week.
We are back for another week.
Happy Black History Month, period.
Happy Black History Month. Period.
Yo, what is wrong with
I don't
her?
know what's going on with me today, but I'm in such a great mood. Which is so
Annoying,
great. I
actually.
love it. I love it.
No, but I'm so happy to celebrate Black History Month this year.
Mhm.
Every day is Black History Month when you take up space in that community. But now we're going to celebrate nice and loud, you know?
Mhm.
All right, well, let's get started with our first segment of the day.
Yes, let's start with our mental health check-in where we
Mhm.
rate how we're feeling from a 1 to 5. Okay, so I want to start the mental health check-in a little bit differently
Okay.
this time.
Okay.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for commenting and sending emails. Yes.
They like us.
They really like us. It feels, it's really great. I mean, all the love and support, it really means the world to us.
Yeah, for
It really
sure.
does. It's not easy being so open about our mental health journey, but the support really does make it worth it. And it really does make us want to continue being as open as we can.
For sure.
But anyway, we got a couple people asking us how we started therapy. And I'd love for each of us to really answer that question, along with rating how we're feeling from a 1 to 5.
Yeah.
So do you want to start or should I?
Maybe you should go first.
Okay, girl.
Yeah. Since you're in such a good mood, you go first.
Yeah, since I'm in such a good mood. Okay, so
What's your rating?
okay, a 3. Yeah, I'm in a great mood, but I'm definitely feeling a 3.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, it's been a tough last couple weeks or so.
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely been as low as a 1. And it hasn't been great.
Yeah.
But
It happens,
today
though.
and for the last couple days and for the last week or so, I've been really feeling a 3 and a 4. So that's been really amazing. It's crazy because, I always say this, we are the experts on our own mental health. So it's
Mhm.
really hard to really explain how we're feeling, but the only thing we can do is really try to make sense of it for other people to really hopefully relate to it.
Exactly.
So that's really why we do the mental health check-in. So right now I'm feeling a 3
Yeah.
and that's it.
How did you get into therapy?
Oh yeah,
That
forgot
was
about
the
that.
question, right?
Yeah. How did we get into therapy? For me, I would say I was feeling the lowest I've ever felt, and I had, as usual, Black women saved the day. My sister actually realized that I wasn't feeling my best, and she
I'm
actually,
sorry. Can you say that again? As usual.
as usual, Black women saved the day.
Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month. And my sister really helped me find my first therapist and her best friend. And I'll always thank both of them for that. That really helped me get into therapy and really learn a lot of things about myself.
Yeah.
When it comes to my second therapist, I was more in a better place. So I really wanted to find somebody that I could relate to.
Right.
And that's how I really searched and looked for my second therapist. I really made an active effort to find somebody that I could really relate to. And that's how I found my second therapist. So yeah, it was really just needing the help and getting it.
Yeah. It helps to know is what nationality is your therapist?
Oh, my therapist is Black. My therapist is Black and gay, which is amazing.
Mhm.
I love him. He's the best.
And you sought that out for representation.
I sought that out for representation, and I also sought that out because the more I was able to relate to my therapist, the easier it was to really share a lot of my issues and my deepest, darkest secrets with.
Yeah.
The question also asked, one of the questions was, is it scary really sharing your deepest secrets with your therapist? I'm not going to sit here and say that it isn't, and I'm not going to sit here and say that you're automatically going to spill all your tea to your therapist.
Yeah.
But as you do get to know your therapist and as you do trust them, it's a process. It takes time. So therapy is also about patience.
For sure.
So what about you?
Well, my rating today is a 3. but I'm
Hey.
closer to great than not.
Hmm.
So definitely a 3. Yeah, I'm also a little hangry, so I just feel
She
like
sure is. She been going off on me
I
all day, and
yes,
I'm sick of it,
I
girl.
cannot function when I'm hungry. So and the food that I had was not enough. So that is why I'm a 3. No, but as far as therapy, therapy was something that I wasn't, it just wasn't something that was talked about in my household. We talked about religion, so it was if you had issues, you go to God. Um, and I still believe in that. Prayer and worship definitely um, can bring you out of your worst days. But for me, we actually had a mutual friend that I have to give credit to, why I wanted to explore therapy, because she was a Black woman who just made going to therapy seem so normal. And she would, we would talk and she'd be like, yeah, okay, I'm leaving work. I'm going to my therapist. And I would be like, oh, okay. And I didn't judge her for that because she just made it seem so comfortable and
Hmm.
so normal. Um, and, she definitely introduced me to therapy. Why I decided to go to therapy, I just wasn't feeling right mentally. I couldn't put my finger on why I was maybe drinking a lot, or why I was being a bit more sassy than normal, um, why I shut down sometimes. So
Hmm.
I just wasn't feeling my best. And I was like, I want to talk to somebody. And there was nothing at the moment. At the moment, there was something wrong, but I was afraid too, because I'm like, okay, does this mean that like I'm crazy, for me to have to go to therapy? So when I went to therapy, the way that I found my, excuse me, the way that I found my therapist, uh, I called my insurance. So for those that do have insurance, there most insurance carriers do pay for therapy.
Hmm.
Um, so I called my insurance and asked for a list of therapists near me, and I remember calling all the numbers and none of them answered. And I was already a little bit nervous, so I didn't want to leave a voicemail. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna call this last number. And if they answer, then they're for me. You know how like we kind of make
Yeah.
these things up in our head. So I
Yeah.
was like, God, if he's for me or if this therapist is for me, then they're gonna answer the phone. And sure enough, I called and he answered the phone. And I was like, I was so nervous, didn't really know what to say. So that's normal too, to be nervous and like unsure on how to even begin. So I was just like, I'm interested in seeking mental health therapy. And we booked an appointment. And he's been my therapist ever since. Now, not everyone has that story. I do believe that you should date your therapist because it is a very personal thing, an intimate space. So if you're not feeling right, then you should definitely like go see another therapist. But for me, this therapist was very gentle.
Hmm.
My therapist is a white man, and I I did want someone Black, but my therapist believed in my healing so much, and it was just a vibe that I got from him. And he wasn't afraid to talk about race.
Hmm.
He definitely is on the right side of the spectrum when it comes to racism and white supremacy. So I just felt so safe with my therapist. And yeah, he's been my therapist ever since. I tell you guys the story all the time, but I did ghost my therapist
Oh
before. And
yeah. Yeah, I
yeah,
remember that.
yeah, I went for like probably like 5 sessions. And at the fifth one, he asked me a question that triggered or made me think about something in a way that I wasn't prepared for. And I was like, oh, I'm not about to cry. He's not about to make me feel sad and vulnerable, which is why you're there anyway. And I was like, I just ghosted him. I just didn't go back. I didn't answer his calls. Super unprofessional. And then the pandemic hit, and just like most people, I was like figuring it out. Like after the first couple of months, it was like, all right, we still in the house?
Mm.
Like, oh my God. So I went back to him, and he was welcoming. He was like, oh my God, I was so worried about you. Like, yes. So I think to answer the question about what do you do or what do you say, I think start with why you decided to go to therapy, why you called them, And it's okay to get to know them. For my therapist, we didn't have a breakthrough until about a year of seeking therapy. It was my first time having a real like breakthrough.
Yeah.
So it does take time, and you don't have to start the first session bearing all,
Exactly.
So you don't have to do that, but yeah, I mean, I think for me, therapy is a part of my life now. Um, just like our credit scores, our emotions go up and down. So you'll need to go to therapy, 1 month or one period of your life. You feel good. You feel like you can apply all of the learnings and teachings that you've got from therapy. And then another month you feel depressed, or you feel anxious, or
Yeah.
or concerned about something, or triggered
Mhm.
about something. So I definitely see me being with my therapist for the long haul. Um, but yeah, I'm so proud of all the emails that we've gotten that have asked questions about therapy. Most of
Yeah.
them are from the Black community, which
Definitely.
is really incredible. And I appreciate you guys so much for trusting us and our experiences with therapy, because it is tough to be so vulnerable and share what's going on, or that we're even seeking therapy. So
Yeah.
shout out to y'all for asking questions and
Shout out
being
to
curious. That's the
y'all.
first step. And yeah, we're interested in knowing more. And let us know if you want us to extend our mental health segment, because we're
Yeah,
open to that too.
we are.
I realize that there's so many people that are seeking comfort in that way in the therapy room.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think I'm just really proud of y'all. And this is going to be the year of healing. 2022, we're healing.
Mhm.
We're sending positive energy. So yeah,
Mhm. And this is the Old Friend podcast. So
are your
we
friends.
are really our friends, and we really do talk about our emotions to each other,
Mhm.
um, constantly. Like, we are very personal with each other, and we expect you guys to do the same with your friends.
Yeah,
And if you don't have a friend like this,
we your friends.
then yeah, we're your friends, or get friends like my friend.
No, for sure. For
Mm-hmm.
sure. It was so important.
Because if you can't really share your emotions with me, then like Jay-Z said, we ain't meant to be friends.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on. I ain't going nobody.
Get a friend like mine.
Nobody's nothing.
If me and my wife beefing.
Okay, sorry. But anyway, we stand the Carters. But yeah, so I implore all of you to find therapy. Your insurance may cover it, or I know for my insurance, it was like the first 3 sessions were free. There's so many different resources out there, and we'll try to add that in the description box.
Mhm.
Or when we post this episode, for sure.
Sure
But
will.
yeah, proud of y'all.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Now, just like everything in life, we gotta have balance.
Let's have some balance. Let's have some
So
balance.
that was cute or whatever, but now we about to get into some mess.
Honestly, girl,
Is it messy today?
it's not gonna be super messy because I'm in such a great mood that I just want to be so positive today. So let's start our he said,
She said.
where we gossip like only two best friends can.
You slay that. You
Girl,
love that little
you know I
quote.
always slay that now. I be slaying that shit. Okay, so I do want to start with something amazing, something beautiful.
I already
This is
know.
so interesting because this person was our very first topic during our very first episode.
Really?
So, yes. So it's
Full circle.
and so it feels like a full circle moment.
Mhm.
I just want to say that our queen, our Bayesian queen, Rihanna, is pregnant with her first baby
We're so
with
excited.
ASAP Rocky.
That's our baby. That's
We
our
are
baby.
so excited.
We're so
We are
excited.
so happy. The photo shoot was amazing. She had on this beautiful
Pink puffer.
puffer, and he had on this blue denim shirt.
They look like they was in a
and
Bronx
they were
in the
in Harlem. They're in Harlem. Yes, that's how you do it.
You know, we stand a New York photo shoot.
Yeah, they were
New
in
York
Harlem
op.
just slaying. So it's not really much to say except that they both looked amazing.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about if it's a boy or a girl.
I just want y'all to know that the album's not coming. Okay?
Oh. Well, girl,
Mama
that dream is
said,
dead.
I'm being a mama. Okay? So, Navy, calm down. The album's not coming. Okay? But we are
dream is dead.
so excited for our good sis, our unproblematic queen,
Mhm.
Riri, and congratulations to the both of them.
Speaking about music though, what is your favorite Rihanna song?
No, I can't do that.
Let's
I
do it,
can't.
girl.
I
Let's get into the
can't.
tea.
I can't.
What is your favorite Rihanna song?
I
Okay,
cannot.
just
I
give me a
cannot. I
list of some of
cannot.
your favorites. Yeah, give me a top
Ooh,
5.
that's not. You see, that's not
Ooh, a top
fair.
5, girl. That's a tough
Love
one.
on the Brain has to be one of them.
Okay, okay.
I'm not doing them in order because I
Okay.
cannot disrespect the queen like that.
Okay.
Love on the Brain.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What about Umbrella?
no.
Okay.
No, I didn't mean to say it like that.
Amazing song.
Huh? Oh,
Oh,
Needed
Needed
Me.
Me. Consideration was good.
Needed Me
Ooh,
was.
girl, you are.
Oh, I
Higher is
love
good.
Higher. Yes, Yomi, I love a Higher.
Love on the Brain is a
Okay,
fave
you
for
go.
mine. I'm a deep cut kid. So I love me a good deep cut. There's a song on her third album,
Oh, I
Good
like
Girl Gone
Skin.
Bad. Yes, I'm a stan because I know her albums.
Okay.
There's a song on her third album called Good Girl Gone Bad called Good Girl Gone Bad. and it's basically her going bad. So basically her man cheated on her. So she basically left him with his best friend.
Come on,
like she left him and took his best friend. I said, "Yes, girl." That's my song.
Skin too.
Skin is good. She also has
She
a
just
song
has
on
too
her second album
many.
called Unfaithful. That was a
Yeah. Unfaithful.
I love
is
that
good.
song. I've never been unfaithful.
We can
but,
just go so far back. Like I can't.
Rude Boy. I love Rated R. Rated R is such an underrated album. She also has a deep cut on there called G4L.
Oh, yeah, she does. She does.
G4L is my song.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna come back because I feel like I'm not happy with the ones that I
California
chose.
King Bed.
Okay, now we
Ooh.
going real back.
Diamonds.
Oh, you see, we could
We
stand.
Found
all
Love.
Day. We could stand all day.
Where have you been? Where have you been all my life? So yeah.
Okay, well, we love you, Riri.
We love you, Riri. Congratulations. You're gonna be an amazing mother.
Yeah.
You are my water sign sister. She is a Pisces, as you know, and I'm a
Whatever.
Scorpio, and we are both water signs, and we and our emotions rule us. So I feel a deep connection with my girl Rihanna. I do. I have a deep connection with her. So I'm just so happy for her. I think that she's gonna be an amazing mother. And Nikki actually sent like a beautiful message to her saying that she's so happy for her and the same thing. Which is a great segue to our next topic.
Because Nikki is just I'm just so proud of you, Nikki. I have to say that I believe that Papa Bear is doing his job. He is turning his mama into just the most beautiful, generous queen. What are we talking about with Nikki?
Okay, so Nikki is back. She's coming out with a new song with Lil Baby.
Which I can't wait
and I cannot wait because she's about to slay the game. And I was just having a conversation with a couple people last week, and they were trying to play Miss Nikki. I'm not a Barb. I don't consider myself a Barb.
Right, but...
But when you go as far as to say that Nikki can't put out any more hits, or Nikki is not the queen of rap, I'm going to have to stop you there. And this story was proof enough that she is the queen and she is the generous queen. So she did an interview with some people and no shade to the
Morning
people.
Hustle.
Oh, work.
L'Oreal, I love L'Oreal.
Oh, okay, work.
Yes.
She did an interview with the Morning Hustle.
Okay.
Shout out to them.
Okay.
And they asked her about if she would ever collab with the City Girls. And she answered the question in a convoluted way, but basically said that they used to talk mess about her, so why would she collab with somebody that used to talk mess about her?
I think it was less about the mess and more about she felt like they said that they don't like her. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they don't fuck with her.
I mean, no, I think it was because they were talking mess about her too. Because if you're talking mess about somebody, then you don't like them.
I'm about to go break bread with you. For
yeah,
sure.
why would you want to? And they have been really begging her for a collab. Like they have, like for a while, because who wouldn't want to collab with the queen?
That's a fact.
So I guess the City Girls saw the interview, obviously, and
Call to apologize.
called to apologize,
Bing bong.
begged for her forgiveness because she is the queen.
The queen.
And Nikki
Not
tweeted
begged for her forgiveness.
They did. They had to have. No shade. No shade to Carisha and
She
JT.
does not like to be called. Yo, I hate that y'all do that because if I said that my name is something, don't call me something else.
Okay, no shade.
My name is my identity. She likes to be called Young Miami.
Okay, I'm gonna name her what her mama named.
Oh my, yo, y'all are so disrespectful. Go ahead, I got your back, Young Miami.
So she tweeted, just had a great convo with JT and Young Miami. Let's move on and make new memories, y'all.
Such a queen. I just
bow.
love this.
Bow.
Love that.
Bow to the queen.
Yes. Now I know what we're all thinking. We want there to be a Cardi B and Remy Ma reunion with Nicki, but we'll get there.
Who said that?
We got to take time. It takes time. I'm saying
Who
that.
said that?
It takes time. I'm saying that. But I am so proud of her for being positive, for just being a queen. You know what? When you channel your inner Beyonce, it just shows. It just shows. When you say, I'm going to take the higher road. I'm going to be classy. I'm going to act with couth. I have forgiveness. I'm going to dead the issue. You know, when you just...
Like she said in Pills and Potions, people will love you and support you when it's beneficial. I'm going to forgive, I won't forget, but I'm going to dead the issue.
We're just so proud of our queen. It's just... Black History Month, you guys are doing amazing so far.
My sis said, I'm going to dead the issue. I'm going to forgive, but I won't forget. I'm going to dead the issue.
Amazing. Amazing. I love it.
And now everybody wants forgiveness. I know, no shade to my guy, Lil Nas X. I know he wants that collab with Nicki so badly, but he has not forgiven you yet,
No, because he went really far.
So give her time. Give her time, sir.
Yeah.
You'll be there soon, too. You'll be able to have a collab with the queen soon, too.
Love that. What else we got going on?
Do you want to talk about this Cardi B, Tasha K thing?
Okay, so I think that we all know pretty much what happened. But I think I want to take a twist on it. And how do you feel that the outcome of this lawsuit will affect you as a creative, as a new creative? Because we just are entering this podcasting world.
Yeah.
So we newbies, I'm not about to act like I know what I'm doing. I'm not about to act like, we just started. So do you feel that this affects you in any way?
No. And this is why I don't feel like it affects me. So basically what happened was Cardi B sued Tasha K and won the lawsuit because she lied on her, basically. And I'm a jokester. I am a jokester, but I'm also not a liar.
Okay.
Like I'm as most of you can see, I'm pretty knowledgeable about the topics that I speak of, and I'm not going to say something that I know is a complete lie that will get me into a situation where I'm going to be in a lawsuit. So it's not changing how I move, but I do feel like it's going to change how a lot of people are going to be moving going forward.
Yeah.
I do think that it does change that.
I mean, it's so crazy because when we started this podcast or when we were just brainstorming, that's something that I was worried about. I was worried about the gossip segment. I didn't want a gossip segment because I was
she was super worried about it.
Right, because I was like, I'm such an empath, and at the end of the day, these are real human beings, and I also know that we don't know everything.
Yeah.
Just because it's on a blog doesn't mean it's true. And when you start to share your opinion, you open the door for so many things. You open the door, you could possibly stop your bag, like we see with Nicki Minaj and the City Girls. They stopped their own bag from sharing their opinion. That's right? So I think it's different. It's difficult because, part of being a celebrity is being in a public eye. We didn't, I think the people help you to get to that point, but that's kind of what you sign up for, is when your business is out there, you leave room for everyone to have an opinion or speak on it. But there was something that you said that I think is why this case is so specific, because there was lies.
Yeah.
And lies about her. I don't know everything, but lies about her possibly having herpes and her having to get a test at the time she was married, has her baby. So that's far, right? But can people sue for less? You know what I mean? And then as a creative, it's like, do you, we talk about gossip because that's what we talk about when we're with our friends. We talk about what happened in pop culture or hip hop culture. So it's something that we all talk about, but I don't know. I think we have seen topics and we were like, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, we have.
We've definitely said, no. You know what I mean? And again, we're just getting started, right? But we want to set a tone that we have boundaries as to what we say and who we talk about or how much we talk about them. But I guess to answer my own question, do I think that it affects me as a creative? Absolutely. And not in a bad way, because I was never going to lie on somebody in the first place. I don't think that we would have ever done that. But I think it does make us tread lightly with what we talk about and who we talk about and the timing that we talk about it.
I think like you said, I think we've already treaded lightly. So like I said, it hasn't really changed how I move. She was straight up lying. And
That's true.
And it's there's a difference between straight up lying and spreading false gossip to multiple people, like making up lies.
Yeah.
Like there's a difference between that and actually, like,
And
gossiping and all of that.
Sorry, does she already have a platform? I'm not familiar with her. So
yeah, she has a huge YouTube platform. Like she has millions and millions and millions and millions of views, and she has multiple subscribers, and she's very, very big. And she has a pretty big podcast too, I believe, too.
How do you feel about her not really taking accountability? Because from the statements that I saw, she was like, girl, we about to appeal this.
It's not surprising, judging from the type of person she is, and I don't want to shade her because I don't think she's a bad person, but judging from the type of person she is, it's not surprising. And, some people are just not going to take accountability no matter how bad it gets. Some people are just not. I kind of had to learn that lesson too, that some people are just not going to take accountability no matter how hard you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? Good for Cardi. I think Cardi too has really blossomed to becoming such a positive force with all the things that she's doing outside of music. So good for her. I believe that she said that this made her depressed and she, went through a lot. I think she even said something about suicide or contemplating suicide. So that's not cool. It's not fun. Like, these celebrities are still human beings with lives, and we never want to contribute to someone being depressed or being sad. I mean, we'll laugh, we have jokes, it's banter, but I definitely think there's a boundary, and that boundary was crossed. And I do think that this will change how freely people share their opinion.
It will.
But we good. We good over here. Any MLK Boulevard.
We good.
Okay, well, I guess that's it for our gossip segment. Or he said, she said. So we're going to dive right into our next segment of the episode. And that is our friend shit segment, where we dive into all things friendship. Cool. Yes. All right. So it's Black History Month. And to bring in Black History Month, this week's friendship topic is interracial friending. You get it? Interracial dating, interracial friending. Okay, it's fine. Someone used to tell me that it's not a joke if you got to explain it. But anyway, interracial friending. Do you have friends of the opposite race or a different race? The opposite race. Do you have friends of a different race or? Girl, let me find out. It's black everywhere.
I'm okay. I'm gonna be honest. No.
Okay.
And I don't think I have a specific reason why that is. I mean, okay, what do you mean by okay? Anybody other than black?
Yeah.
I do have
Anybody
like
other than black?
Latino friends.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
see,
I
you
do
have
have like
interracial friends.
Latino and
Okay.
Latina friends.
Latina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And have you tried to have friends of of different
Yeah, I
races
would
or?
say okay, so this is what I was thinking. I at first I was when I first thought about this question, I thought, ooh, I don't think
I'm
I've
like, you are
ever had.
stuttering. Are you
I
about to
know,
lie?
right?
What is
I
happening right
know.
now?
I don't know why I'm getting nervous
Right.
about this
You acting
topic.
like a white woman talking about race. What the hell? You're getting uncomfortable.
I sure am. Okay, so at first I was thinking I don't think I ever have had a let's say a white friend or anything like that, but actually
Really?
I have when I was younger.
Okay.
It wasn't I guess as I got older and as I started to experience a lot of racism and I realized what it's like actually being a black man in America,
Mm-hmm.
I did kind of start to distance myself
That's
from my
real.
white friends.
That's real.
And it was something I did unconsciously
Mm-hmm.
during the early part of my, I would say, my late teens, early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really have an explanation for that.
Mm. And that's okay. But I think, how would we feel if a white man said that about not having black people in his life?
That's true.
Right. So I think interracial friending is so interesting. So I was brought up in predominantly white neighborhoods. So I was also everybody's friend. Like, I was a girl that like loved everybody. So I have always had friends of different races, whether they were Indian, um, Latino or Latina, Asian, white. I've always had. I mean, we can go with religion, like Jews and Muslims. Like I've always had. My friends always look like a pack of M&Ms. Like we were always so colorful, and I really loved it because I didn't always feel like the minority.
Mm-hmm.
But I now being educated, I definitely dealt with a lot of microaggressions from my friends and their parents. Whether it was asking me a lot of questions about my hair. And as a young black girl, I don't know that that's offensive. I just know that why do we keep talking about my hair, you know? Or I had one friend, I remember I was like in 3rd grade and I was going to go over to her house and her mom didn't allow me anywhere outside of the kitchen. So I couldn't go in her room.
What?
I couldn't sit in her living room. And I didn't understand that. I just thought that we were just gonna, this was in the winter. I thought that we were just gonna eat hot chocolate in the kitchen and the mom didn't want anything messy. But when I went home and told my mom about the experience, she was livid. So I couldn't really understand it. So as I began to educate myself, I started to change how I responded to those microaggressions. It didn't make me not want to have white friends or not want to have, friends of a different race. But I was able to tell the difference of, are you my friend or are you trying to play me?
Mm.
And I think as in the black community, we have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Because everybody want to be black until it's time to be black. There's nobody in this world that's like, I'll take the black experience for $100. You know what I mean? So when you realize that, I think it does make it sticky and uncomfortable. But I've always been a person of, I'm always going to stand against racism, but I believe that I can be friends with anybody. You know what I mean? And I can't blame everyone for the experiences that I've had. So I really did make it an effort to have friends of a different race. But it started getting tricky, for sure. And honestly, 2019 and on is when I had to start checking some friends for their beliefs and their microaggressions.
Yeah.
So that leads me to my next question. Does it matter? Does your friends' beliefs matter to you? So whether it's political, religious, doesn't matter.
Yes. Yes, and you know that, girl. Like I am very much into politics, and I watch a lot of the news, and I'm very much into knowing my surroundings and knowing what's going on around me, because that is the only way that I can affect positive change around me.
Come
That's how I
on.
feel. So when it comes to somebody having different political beliefs, I can't stand by somebody that, let's say, voted for Orange Cheeto. I don't want to even say his name.
I'm sorry.
Voted for him.
Okay.
I can't be friends with somebody like that, because you are supporting somebody that is literally bringing
Hurting
down
me.
myself and my people
Mm-hmm.
and everybody that I know and love.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I take that pretty seriously. I'm not going to. No, I do take it pretty seriously. I don't. I can't be friends with somebody that done something like that. Sorry.
Yeah.
What about you?
For me, I'm not going to front. I definitely had a lot of debates
Mm-hmm.
with friends during the um, orange bigot era.
Mm-hmm.
And I've lost a lot of friends. Well,
Yeah.
I don't want to say I lost a lot of friends because those weren't the kind of people that I wanted in my life. But the issue with interracial friending is that sometimes you can go with being this person's friend for years and never truly knowing their real beliefs until their back is put against the wall.
That's true.
And I think that's happened so many times to
Mhm.
me, whether the person was didn't matter what race they were. You know, there was some type of microaggression, some type of unconscious bias. There was something there, and I think it's really up to us to decide if it's worth educating and working through or just cutting off. And I think for me, I believe that if we're friends, I'm not going to have people around me that I don't think are genuine. So if you were my friend, then I must have assumed or trusted that you were genuine. And I think as your friend, it's my responsibility to educate you. But as my friend, it's your responsibility to educate yourself on my struggles.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I think with my Asian friends, I ask questions.
Yeah.
You know, with my Jewish friends, I ask questions.
Yeah.
With my Indian friends, I ask questions. And I really try my best to make them feel comfortable to do the same and ask me questions.
I agree.
You know?
I agree.
So I think that's our responsibility in interracial friending or dating to ask questions and educate ourselves, because if you are my friend then you don't want to see me hurt, and racism hurts me, you know.
I agree. It's all about being open-minded. I was just talking about this with somebody because we were talking about Whoopi being suspended from The View because of her comments about the Holocaust and for saying that Jewish people are not a race.
Yeah.
And a lot of Jewish people were outraged about that.
Yeah.
And a lot of Black people were confused because they thought that Jewish people are just a religion. Like they're just a religion and white. They're not specifically a race. But Jewish people had to explain that, yes, we are both a race and religion, and that Hitler saw us
As
an inferior race.
Yes.
So I always try to be as open-minded as possible because I would want somebody to want to try to understand the Black experience.
Yes.
So I should be open-minded enough to want to understand the experience of other people around me.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way that you can really make sense of what's going on around you. Like you can't just stay in your own box.
Exactly. And I think, like I said, there are boundaries. So I think for me, this happens, especially in New York. Non-Black people are brought up in the Black community, so they feel freely in like saying the N-word. I don't care where you were raised. If you're not Black, I don't want you saying the N-word around me. That is a boundary. right? But you maybe using a microaggression with my hair, or maybe using a microaggression with our music, or not understanding culture appropriation. That's something that I'm okay with having a conversation with.
Mm-hmm.
Your willingness to learn and be better is going to make or break our friendship for sure. Okay, question. Do you judge someone who doesn't have friends of another race?
No.
Cause you don't.
Yeah, girl. Why did I judge people when I know, girl? Please.
I don't know. I'm gonna need you to get some more friends. You have acquaintances of different races.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is. You're using the friend word too loosely.
I think you know me. I am very, very serious when I call somebody a friend.
Yes.
Like if I'm calling you a friend, we are friends, girl. And I take that very seriously.
Yeah.
Very seriously. I put a lot on you in the friendship, and I take a lot on for the friendship. So, yeah.
I think
but I have a lot of acquaintances that are of different colors.
Because I don't want the girls thinking you out here.
I don't want the girls thinking I'm only here for
black or nothing.
For the blocks. For the blocks.
I will say that growing up in New York, I was so involved in so many different races. Like, I mean, from my Puerto Ricans to my Dominicans to my Italians, like I indulge in so many different backgrounds, and would be with those friends and will celebrate with them. Like my friend and I, we just did something for Lunar New Year.
Mm-hmm.
And that was exciting, and being with her and her experience and celebrating with her. And I got my little red envelope and things like that, and educating myself on that. So I personally enjoy friendships from people of different backgrounds because it fuels me. It's exciting to me. I want to be supportive, and I mean, I like different foods and different things like that. But I think, you do have a responsibility to educate yourself. You can't just leave it all on your friends. So to those for Black History Month, to those with your Black friends, having a Black friend is not enough. Just having a Black friend or Black boyfriend, Black girlfriend, that's not enough. You need to educate yourself as well and support the community in which you found comfort in. You know what I mean? Or support the community in which you found something that you can take or you can benefit from. I think it's so important. And our good sis Riri said it best. If you have friends, tell your white friends to pull up. And that's kind of how I feel. That's how I do everything with my friends of a different race. Like my friends of a different race last year, they was protesting with me. And the year before that, y'all protesting with me because that's a requirement in being my friend. I need you to pull up when it's time to pull up, So yeah. Do you have any tip for anyone? Or you know what? People from different backgrounds, come be Jeffrey's friend.
Yeah, come be my friend.
Come be Jeff's friend.
Mm-hmm. And I'm open to dating too.
Oh,
you can slide in my DMs.
Okay, put it out there. Why don't you?
Jeff on Instagram with 3 Fs. If you want to slide in my DMs, go ahead.
Can you
am
have some
single.
You are begging right now. You are begging. I do not condone begging, but okay.
I am not begging. I'm just putting it out there.
Listen, closed mouths don't get fed.
Listen.
Well, we want to know about your experiences with interracial friending. Do you have friends of a different background? How has that worked out for you? Any tips that you have for us? We'd love to hear from those who are Black and not Black too. So you can find us at O Friend Podcast on IG, O Friend Podcast on at gmail.com, excuse me, O Friend Podcast on YouTube, O Friend Podcast everywhere, okay? That is OHFRIEND PODCAST. Okay.
We're sorry, guys. It's a little bit early for us today.
Okay, well, that wraps up our friend shit topic. So now we're going to dive into our last segment of the episode,
which is in our city.
In our city.
We'll talk about what's going on in our city.
What you seen in our city this week?
I'm just okay. So living in New York is one of the worst things about living in New York is when it fucking snows. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse. Is when it snows.
Come on.
And the dirt and grime after it snows is the most disgusting thing. And it stays there for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. The subway's dirty. The ground is dirty. Everything is dirty. Brown snow. Different colored snow.
Oh my God,
and it's just
winter monster.
And it's just so gross. And that's why I hate when it snows in New York. I really do.
Well, it snowed in the South too.
I don't live in the South.
Actually, it's kind of scary that it snowed in the South, but global warming.
It snowed in the South?
Yes, not really.
What?
Yeah, it snowed in Texas, but it doesn't usually snow.
But it's snowing in Texas right now too, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't usually snow. So this is like,
oh yeah. I mean, climate change.
Yeah, for sure. In our city, what have I seen in our city? I am not prepared for this segment.
I could tell, girl.
Ooh, you don't gotta do me like that. Okay. Anyway,
unprepared.
Okay, in our city, everything seemed normal to me. Eric Adams, I'm watching you.
Shout out to Eric.
No, I'm watching you. Stop and frisk has been bad for our community. It's always been bad for our community. Stop and frisk targets Black communities, specifically Black men. So I'm watching you. We gonna see. I hope that you're not just our skin folk, but you're our kinfolk as well. Cause you outside, but I want to make sure
he is outside. I'm like, sir,
I can't lie. I can't lie, Mr. Adams.
He is everywhere.
Outside.
I'm like, sir, do you sleep?
But I'm watching you. I don't want to drag you because I'm so proud of the representation. But sir, I'm gonna need you to think about it. Think about what you're doing. Yeah, that's all I have to say. And on that note, bing bong.
Bing bong.
Bing bong. I just like saying it. Bing bong. The
Shout out
kids
to
lingo
New York.
today.
Shout out to New York.
The kids lingo today is so fun. That's what's happening in our city. Bing bong. If you don't know, look it up.
What's good?
If you know, you know.
If you don't know, now you know.
All right, that's it, friend.
That's it.
Well, friends, we love you. Thank you so much for kicking it with us today. And again, I'm Ty.
And I'm Jeff.
And this is the Old Friend Podcast. Bye, guys.